QFA.
This is the guy. This is the... What do you call the guy who works there? If not by his name.
The reception guy?
Yeah. The reception guy? The receptionist. What do I always say? I associate receptionist with women.
Yeah, but that's probably because we're sexist.
Yeah. Like nurse.
Yeah, like a nurse.
Like a nurse.
That's a woman.
Like I'm a male... They say male nurse
They
or
say
nurse?
male nurse. They say male nurse.
They say male nurse or nurse. They don't say female nurse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So either it's a nurse, which implies that it's a woman, or...
Sexist towards men. Isn't it?
Is it really?
Is it? Yeah, it's yeah.
Isn't it just still sexist to
Yeah, because you wouldn't say like male doctor, female doctor. You say doctor. And surgeon. Yeah. I mean, you can to identify someone. It's more like out of an aesthetic, like if you're trying to find this person, it's like, hey, yeah, it's the female doctor. Yeah, but not officially as a job term. But everyone's like male nurse, they have to specify. Even if you're a male and you're saying you're a nurse, you're like, I'm a male nurse. I am, goddammit, I'm not a nurse, I'm a male nurse.
Which we can see.
Yeah, look, you can, though, these days, apparently. You know? But let's not get into that.
Let's not go.
Yeah.
Let me see.
This would have been a really good segue for this other segment I'm not sure we should talk about.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it, but...
Yeah, let's think it through.
Yeah. So no, we've been out and about. So
let me see if I have.
Oh wait, let me turn off this.
This thing is
and put airplane mode right now.
There we go. That's better.
Oh yeah, now you can go in airplane mode on your phone actually because since you're connected to this thing. But life is back, ladies and gentlemen. Life is back. Yesterday they reopened this country. Closing times. There's no official closing times.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, because yesterday I had a plan. I met up with people. We watched the football in Utrecht, the sports bar, and it was lively. And even later we left at like 12, and even arriving in Amsterdam at 1 a.m. something like that, people were just starting to party. I'm like, what's going on here? You know where I really had it yesterday? Where I really noticed it? I went to this electronics store to get a power bank, and then I walk in, I put my mask on, and I go up, and like the employees aren't wearing masks. What's going on? What is this? And then the customers weren't wearing masks. I took it off. Like, I'm not wearing a mask inside.
The freedom.
Yeah. There's a lot of freedom. And you notice it in people. In going out, and we had it. We met up on Thursday. And for example, especially for the waitresses, first of all. And no, it's not because of tips, because they don't do tipping culture in Holland. Even though the waitresses weren't Dutch. But still, there is this extra, effort to just communicate and talk to people like, oh my God, I'm talking to people outside of my own circle. And you notice I notice it in the gym, for example. And if there's people that you didn't used to communicate with much back in the day, but you recognize them by face, those people gravitate towards, and you're now social. I know about their kids and their grandkids and everything, because they're just so open to communicate with everyone. And it's like if we missed each other's presence, even if we didn't, talk much before. And I think this is going to be very positive towards collab culture. Because, for example, this one waitress, she has a business in video editing. It's online marketing. And it turns out she's worked for several big agencies in New York, actually, and done all kinds of media stuff. And she's ready in media consultation and stuff like that. So stuff that we do. And this openness with people, it's like what we talked about before about how people are a lot more open towards just reaching out to random people on the internet and stuff, especially since lockdown is the only way to communicate. Now that's translated towards real life. Where, where people are like, people aren't, it's not necessarily scary to talk to strangers. Let's see if we can benefit each other. And
that was the question, because people were actually saying the opposite would happen, but because people have been inside for so long, they would forget how to be social and everyone would be more distant.
Yeah.
But it seems like, at least for now, it seems that is the opposite of what is happening.
Yeah, the social awkwardness goes away. Yeah. And then we ran into... What would you call him?
What would you call him, man?
Because first of all, he was eavesdropping.
That is
on the wild shit
starts-
that we were talking about.
that is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is. I didn't even stop thinking about that. Like, yeah, he was.
Yeah. We got offered, ladies and gentlemen, like about 10 racks to do a video for someone's cult.
Yep. Yeah.
And
That's a good question, actually.
then again, it's good to mention that this is not a harmful cult. This is a utopian cult.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know.
We don't know his
that.
full
Maybe-
his
yeah.
full plans.
Right. It's one of those where, like, they come up, the guy explains what his idea is, what he's trying to bring awareness to in this world, pertaining to, for example, taxes, where they're like, I want to choose where my taxes go to, and I don't want to pay taxes towards other things that I don't agree with.
That was his. Yeah.
I want nobody wants to be hateful. Everybody wants love. But now we're following our government, and whoever they hate, we
All
have to
sorts
hate
of
that stuff.
Conspiracy. So basically, it came down to we don't need a government. We want to build a society with no government. And I was
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
I think that exists, and it's called Slab City. Somewhere in America, Slab City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. Slab City is very interesting, but it's very dangerous. It's a lawless, essentially a lawless sort of piece of land. I wouldn't even call it a city because it's just it's desert. It's desert with tents and a lot of.
Oh yeah,
junk.
but you have that here too.
You got lawless places here.
Yeah, you have the place where they call them campers, and they're all in like the outskirts, and it's a similar idea.
They don't. So if someone gets murdered there, does the authorities get involved? Because that's the thing with Slab City is like once you're that's lawless and you have your own laws. So if someone steals from you and you kill them, that's a normal way of dealing with things, essentially.
I
Then
don't
again,
know.
it could be up to the other people to say like, oh, that wasn't fair. Then they go kill you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But that's the world we would live in if we go by him.
Wild Wild West.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't do this 10K project. Yeah, with this guy. Because this is what it could turn into.
It's just nuts.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, how you been, man?
I've been good. I've been working all week, so I haven't been able to benefit of the new, outside being open yet.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking of what I'm gonna do. I might go to. Actually, got invited by a friend to go out to a club in a week or two. So we're probably gonna do that. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
When is the last time you went out clubbing?
Yeah, no, in Jordan I did. Oh, well, I wouldn't say...
Like a prop? No, but I mean like a proper, like sneakers and sweaty girls.
Yeah.
Like a proper... Yeah,
But so Jordan's rules were a little bit different there. And I did catch COVID, just as a note, from going out there. Clubbing, though, I don't know. Clubbing. It was out and there was live music. Like one of those, and there's a lot of women and men, and everyone is gallivanting.
Everyone's gallivanting.
Everyone's
Gallivanting.
Yeah. So it's, yeah.
No, I mean more like actually. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But I mean like really the proper like nightclub
Yeah, see?
vibe.
Yeah, no.
That's what we're gonna do.
So it's more like for me.
We're going straight into the lion's den.
Awesome.
Because it's just gonna be like it was sold out apparently like in a couple hours. But it was like it's gonna be this.
It's one of those limited capacity.
Yeah, but it's gonna be just fucking vultures. It's just gonna be. Everyone's
gonna
all-
be Slab City.
yeah. Well, everyone's all fucking hyped up, man, because they've been cooped up for so long.
Yeah.
So now they get to go out. And they get to go out and grope each other again. That's where we're gonna
Pheromones
go.
be flying.
That's exactly what it
Pheromones
is.
are gonna be flying.
Dude.
Yeah. So no, it's more like for me.
And because my friend he's recently single and I'm recently single, this was his idea. It's like, yo, let's go fucking do this.
Yeah, I was trying to get you.
Let's go.
Tell that.
Yeah, well there you go.
Recently single.
I put it in there. Put it in there.
Whoever you girls, you know who you are, been sliding into my DMs now of this little bit of attention this podcast started getting. Send some to Oliver.
No,
the only problem is, you know what the
send
problem
some
is though? You can't tag you in most stuff.
In DMs?
Yeah. No, not DMs, in posts.
Why?
So I don't know, your page is like
Oh, I got it all blocked because I was
Yeah.
stalked by a crazy.
Tell us about that. Tell us.
We'll
You
fix
want to talk about that?
We'll fix that.
Yeah, fix it.
Yeah, I
'cause-
was stalked, but I'm a crazy girl.
Because then who knows, right? Maybe you'll get some there.
I'll
But a lot of you are Mexican, so I don't know if...
Okay. All right. Anyways.
Then there's a distance. It's not like, yeah.
Oh, this guy. Let me actually. This is useful.
Now you're interested. Okay. Like, yes. No, for me the clubbing is I've been out of the
When was that? Like a couple
clubbing,
weeks ago, or no? Like months ago. That's months ago.
Look at her.
Just on the. And who is this? What am I looking at?
And she used to go to high school with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She asked about OnlyFans.
She has
She asked about she like so she brought it in a way like. So I don't know how we got there.
She asked if she should start an OnlyFans. Or
she asked what the benefits would be as a joking way, like, of course I would never do that. But do you know about it? Can you tell me more?
Of course, yeah.
Like, okay, because we were talking about branding, and we were talking about like what she wants to. I won't say disclose too much information. Wait, let me see. How can I omit some things? Anyway, she just wants to start an online brand and use her personal page to sort of sell her her products, you know. And when we throughout that conversation about branding and saying, like, she said something like, should I model my own stuff, my own clothes and stuff? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you could do that because, I mean, you see. And then she's like, oh, what about this OnlyFans? Do people only use it for porn? And, you know, and everybody, like, we're not going to try to, like, explain OnlyFans completely. But, it's not, but it's turned into that.
It's the most popular
and then she says, like,
form of content on there.
She started saying how, like, there's all these men on LinkedIn always trying to, like, hit her up. And I've actually heard that from a lot of women that just LinkedIn, they get hit up all the time, being asked out on LinkedIn. And they're like, we could benefit off that, you know, in a way. Yeah, so it's up to you. It's up to you. But first of all, don't use LinkedIn as a dating app. It doesn't make sense. It always leads to sexual harassment. It's
okay.
There's been stories from my own circles. It's like the way it happens is, I see you're looking for a job here. How about we get to know each other better personally?
That's creepy.
And so it's. Listen, you want to do that?
That's creepy because the lady shows up thinking it's about a business opportunity or a job opportunity, and you're just trying to slang dick. Yeah, it's just not right. It's just wrong.
It's just the insinuation.
It's wrong.
It's vague though because you're like. If this was happening on Instagram, you would know the intention already.
Oh, this is a headline right here that you and I are going to talk about.
You open it up.
We'll get it. Hold on.
But like LinkedIn, you already have the assumption this is a professional platform. So even if there was an insinuation of like, hey, let's get to know each other better, and you might think weirdly of it, you might still think, okay, maybe I will go on that because it is a professional platform, and they wouldn't hit me up about romantic things on LinkedIn, right? That's where it gets tricky. Because then there's this argument where they say, oh, but you went on that date though, so you are partly responsible. No, but there was an insinuation, but it came through LinkedIn.
She went for a business opportunity.
Yeah, because it came through LinkedIn.
Yeah. That's all. Well, that's what it is. Yeah. Brilliant segue.
All right, good.
Talking about dating, Netflix
Yeah.
has a new dating series called Sexy Beats, and it's all about personality. So watch this. They've ordered 2 seasons of this show. It's a show where people show up in animal makeup and prosthetics. They look like animals.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
And then they have to. It's a blind date in the sense that you don't know who it is. You don't know the person, but you can't see the person too because they're in a costume.
Yeah.
And then you're just supposed to date. The single person will only see the real face of their chosen match after they've made their pick.
This is
okay. Each episode will feature a single person who's looking for someone with a great personality. They are presented with 3 potential love matches who are all disguised by the makeup. The single person will only see the real face of their chosen match after they've made their pick. It's based on a British series. Of course, the British came up with this. They're nuts. And then the first 6-part season of episodes will be released on Netflix July 21st globally. The second season will be released later this year. 48 different makeup creations in all. This is the trailer. Jesus Christ, this is nuts.
I've seen the trailer actually because
have you?
It's funny you brought this up. And
I'm
happy you did because apparently this is very, very relevant and very current because I've seen a lot of people like that do content and podcasters and stuff now talk about it.
It is very relevant and current because people have been talking about, like also with those dating apps, like people have been talking, I think there are some that are trying this, about making dating apps that don't focus too much on people's looks but more on like the conversation first and then. So it's an interesting, what was your stance? Because this girl is, I mean, my issue is, this is a rabbit.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
So you're gonna get some.
Yeah, but I don't want to sit across from a rabbit.
What if the show attracts people like that get on the show that are into animals? That's illegal, right?
Okay.
So
I don't know how you made that.
But and there's also the furries. The furries, the fetish.
Bestiality.
No. There's a whole other subculture of humans that are into like dressing up as like. Just in these costumes, these furry animals, And yeah.
Well, I'm sure
this
that
is-
I'm sure that the casting takes care of that. I'm sure that the casting
yeah, I'd hope
properly
so.
vets and filters who they're getting.
Or
No,
not,
but I
because it
don't
was all
know.
about ratings. So this is, but I mean, the concept is not that new because I mean, the animal thing is, but like dating in the dark or something like that. What's it called? Where people like have their dates, they don't see each other. It's in the dark, and they just have conversations, and then at the end, you sort of they turn
Or
the
Love
lights
is
on. And you
Blind.
see
Yeah,
their,
the one show on Netflix, Love is Blind.
is that
where
what they actually wore the blindfolds?
No, that's where they were behind. Like you had to spend. You're behind the door,
Yeah.
and you had to sort of talk to them. I mean,
I don't get the whole. Why they have to make it this weird? Like this.
that's my point.
Is it a
Because like
shock
it's
value
it's
thing?
the prosthetics. Like they look like proper animals. Hold on, I won't put. I'll turn off the sound.
You know how bad Cats was, the movie?
That's what this looks like.
Exactly, because
Look
the
at
animation
this.
looks. But this doesn't look like. Are these?
This is creepy.
So these are costumes and not because when I saw it first, I was like, "This is CGI," or "This is."
No, it's prosthetics, makeup and prosthetics.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like proper,
Yeah, so
like they do in movies also.
Yeah,
They still do that in some movies, not only CGI.
Mhm.
I mean, it's mad.
You're moving mad, bruv. That's what they would say.
It's their show.
Yeah, I know. They
This
move
is
mad.
just, it's just unappealing to look at this.
Dude, this would so for me, this would take away from the whole thing. I would be turned off.
That's my issue. It's like it's weird. It's,
Or listen to me. This. It could work the other way around in the placebo way, where like you're already turned off the whole time, but you like this person's conversation, and then your expectations are already so low. You've just been seeing this ugly ass fucking Darth Vader.
Oh, but they really go
what?
out. They really go out. Like they don't go on proper dates.
No, so like
so it's not
once
just a
it
dinner.
goes
They
off,
go to like an event. They
at
go to
least-
like an event, an activity. So I saw one. They went to a theme park. Okay, that's different. That's a little different then.
Yeah, but maybe it's like it plays off the fact that once it goes off, you're like, oh, there's no way this person is gonna be uglier than the costume. So you're always gonna be pleasantly surprised, no matter who shows up under that mask. You know what? It's already 100 times better than that whole like married at first sight bullshit concept. Because there you're fucking with people's lives.
I mean,
It's like marriage is a whole other thing. You get in this legal thing.
I mean, it's fucking
Arrangement.
dumb, right? I don't know who came up with that. So I don't even know how it works. So they go like a computer program just says, "Yo, you're compatible," and then you just show up, pop up with at the church, or you just get married. Let's go.
So we were flipping
Smart.
channels the other day, me and my housemate, and we came through the Australian one. We came across that, and once it got to the first commercial, we're like, "Yeah, fuck this! I'm not gonna go through this whole commercial thing to watch it." The first beginning of it was like, there's a house, and all these women keep joining at different times at the same night, and they all start socializing and drinking together and getting drunk, and and they're like explaining why they're looking for a husband, and then the same thing for the men. Then they have a men's house and everything. By the way, the funniest thing is like the biggest contrast. You see the men's house like 3 hours later, because we skipped all commercials, went to this other show, and then went back. And of course, because there's so many commercial breaks, eventually we're still on that fucking program. We're at the point where like the men have been hanging out for like 3 hours in the house, and then the women have been drinking, hanging out for 3 hours in the house. They go to the men's house. They're all best friends, and they're all like, oh shit, laughing together, banter, networking, and everything. They flip to the women's house, and they're all like, there's a fight going on. This woman's like, oh, I didn't think you should have been this blunt and told her this and that. It's like, how do you even... In 3 hours of socializing and having a happy time, women always find a way to fight each other. And the men are always best friends. It's interesting contrast. But I think so...
What is your stance on this? Like, is it... Okay, I get it's a concept, cool. But what's... In general, like if you're dating, what's the issue with the looks playing a role?
Yeah, I mean,
what's the problem with that?
This is an age-old question, right? That
Like it seems like there's more and more of a push of like, oh well, we need to find a way to not focus on looks. And I'm like, well, I think we should.
yeah.
And
I think
from
the
what I
ones
can see, also they all got good-looking people still.
they casted
They
already
casted
hot
good-looking people to wear prosthetics. You can see it. If you watch it. So I'm like,
that's-
okay, dude. Like,
That's not.
I've been saying they should do a dating show. Like, watch this now. And if you want to cut this out, we cut it out because it's a genius. It's a genius idea. Maybe we want to
Right.
keep it for ourselves.
Okay. Oh, like that. Okay. Maybe
My-
then
my-
I'll cut it out.
Yeah, so we can keep for ourselves.
Yeah.
But what I've been saying is there has to be a dating show, right? For fat people.
Oh. Yes. Yeah, but
Start a dating show for fat, but then really like drive it home like Temptation Island, like a Love Island, something like that. But then they're all fat.
bro,
That's
Yeah,
I'm
you
telling
mentioned this before, and
That's what it would work. I don't know why no one's doing it. It would work.
I think, yeah,
It would
yeah,
work.
because my first issue would be
Heavy
if
love
people
is the name.
are a lot of people are in denial about being fat. How fat do you have to be? How much do you
call
have to
it heavy
weigh?
love.
Do you have like weight categories like in fighting? Do you have like you have the heavyweights and the super heavyweights, and then I don't know. I think it's a good concept, but at the same time,
I think you should
but
be visibly heavy,
most people
but still
don't.
able to walk.
It's not like Wally.
Well, not like my 600-pound life. Not them niggas.
Okay, yeah.
Not
So you
not
mean-
them man
so-
they can't get up out of.
What's the BMI?
We're gonna get killed. That can't, not the ones that can't get up out of a chair. I mean the ones that they can still get up and walk and do their thing.
Yeah, of course. Okay, yeah. You don't want to be like dragged to the altar on a stretcher like this
Yeah, no, but
at
like,
the end
you
of the
know,
show.
let them fucking do their thing.
Yeah.
They have a dating show for people on the spectrum.
But so there is always
Love
like
on the spectrum.
The thing is like most people have their standards too high.
Okay,
right?
here we go. Now we're potting.
Yeah. So most
Talk
like
to me.
people including us, like we probably overestimate
Do we?
our. I mean, but it's gotten me success though. The overestimation sometimes because it brings you this sort of confidence to the table that it's like confidence. First of all, is the number one. First out of my own experience, or even like my experience with other women who I initially wouldn't think I was attracted to, but then their confidence got me interested in them. Right.
That's absolutely true.
That's
That's a
one
big
thing,
thing.
right?
That's definitely a big
But
thing.
a lot of people are overconfident to the point that we shoot for the stars. Right? But some people have it where they don't settle for less than that standard that they have, right? And I feel like a lot of the people that would participate in that show, what would you call it?
Heavy love.
Heavy love. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, yeah, is they don't wanna. They think they deserve or they feel entitled to people that aren't the same as they are aesthetically. You know what I mean?
Here we're going.
And then
I see what.
On the other
I see
hand,
the energy you're on today.
why
Unfiltered.
you're putting
So you're telling me that the problem is that the fat people would feel entitled to a skinny person.
yeah. Essentially. No, but a lot of them, but they're more like
I don't
this.
think
It's
that's the
kind
case.
of discriminatory in a way. Like you think like, oh, why do you think that all of us should be lumped in together, and and we don't deserve to date anyone that is outside that category, outside that weight class. Look at it.
Well, you do, but
Yeah, but
it's no different
because there
than-
is a lot
okay,
of
but
people
watch this
that
then.
are really into bigger people. A lot of people that aren't big. That's a whole fetish as well.
yeah, okay.
So
But watch this. If you watch the dating shows you have now, they make sure to get fitness people, like all fit, like not even normal people, but like people with like abs and like that's who they cast.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, cast it the other way around. That's
So,
all I'm saying.
you
So you
say
can also
you have-
discriminate there. You can say, why do you assume that because I'm fit, I wouldn't be attracted to like a.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always have a problem.
Oh, you just need to do. Oh, you need to do one of those shows with a mixture, just like randomly cast it, and don't take.
Well, there's
Just
more
the
and more.
abs.
Every fucking year they have a new dating shows with a new concept, and they're all very popular. So you had the Love on the Spectrum is also one where it's dating between people on the spectrum. You know what on the spectrum means?
Yeah. Okay.
You know what it means, right?
Yeah, but how do they?
So that's
how
what
do
that was
they
one. That was a big one.
morally do that. Like
They they just put them there. Just put two people in
Yeah.
a room, and then what's the? I
we're
don't see
worried
the, I
about
don't
the
see the
things
moral
we say on
problem.
this podcast.
What's the moral problem?
Well,
What's the moral problem?
I guess
People
not.
on the spectrum also date. They date. They
Yeah,
need love
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
needs love.
Yeah, but they could also date people that are not on the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, you make a good point here. It's the same thing you were saying about it. Yeah.
Like overweight people can date people that aren't overweight if they're interested in them. Right.
That's
But
a good
I think
point.
that's where the thing would go wrong. But I
Well,
mean,
maybe
I think,
that's your concept for that. A dating show where you have to date someone that is different from you, in terms of.
or you're forced to date, like not forced because it's part of the show. Like, oh, you're just coupled with people for like several dates, and they couple you to open your mind more with people that you wouldn't necessarily be attracted to. And maybe so the matchmakers would do it in a way that personality-wise, these
just
people
fit-
match perfectly.
Personality, okay, but not physically.
Yeah, but not physically. So they'll match people that
Oh.
are, personality-wise or interest-wise, completely perfect for each other with but their attraction, like their physique, is the opposite of what they would be attracted to. Their physical appearances. That'd be interesting.
I don't know how that works because
I'm just thinking to myself, like,
personality.
would
I
that
find personality to be very important, and if you
Yeah.
don't look exactly like my, that makes me. How bad would you have to look for me to be like, nah, but I still can't? That's where I go.
Yeah, I mean,
How bad would you have to look to me?
because it's difficult because for me, I don't have a type necessarily in terms of
I don't have
like
a
a
type
lot of
either.
people say I like blondes, I like that. No,
I don't have
Yeah,
a type
no.
either.
but I do know what is not my type, and I couldn't describe it. Like it's more I can physically see like I'm attracted to this person or not, but it doesn't matter what race they are, what color hair they have, or anything. Like
Height.
I can be attracted.
What about
to,
height?
Oh, height.
Height is a thing for
Yeah,
most,
it's different. I mean, I don't mind a girl being a bit taller than me. But no, she can't be like it's a turn off for me if they're towering over me.
if they can do this.
Right. If they can do that, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, there's fetishes for that, but people, I don't have that.
I don't.
I definitely don't have that. But no. There's none
I'll
of
take a
that.
tall girl. I'll do it.
But I'm thinking like, I'm thinking if the girls that I know that I find unattractive, but if they had the personality that would be perfect for me.
Well, it's also especially the other way around. There's plenty of girls that I've seen and know that are physically attractive, but as soon as they open their mouth, it's like,
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of
But that's where I know that I'm not
I'm
shallow.
not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna deal with this.
That's where I know I'm not
Yeah,
that
exactly.
shallow, because I'm like, I've been like, you go to clubs and I'm talking to, and there was a lot of interest from this stunning girl, for example, and then she opens her mouth and I'm turned off by the ideas that are even coming out.
The
of it.
idea.
Yeah,
What?
especially the ideas. You know?
You said the ideas.
Oh, I'm like,
She
bro,
had
I don't
ideas?
even think I can get through this night if I would go home with you. Like,
But
this
she had
whole
ideas
night.
though.
Yeah, I mean they're
'Cause there's a
rudimentary little.
Okay.
They're like you know, what do
yeah,
you call
'cause you-
stick figures of ideas.
Okay,
Like,
there we go.
That's
Okay,
what it
okay.
is. It's
'Cause
like
I
little
was gonna say,
sketches.
I was gonna say,
It's
you
like-
can have them.
Yeah,
the attitude is wrong, but the idea, the philosophy.
it's like when in second or third grade you thought your idea was the best idea ever. That would come up in your head and you would explain it to your parents like, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, you know.
I love those. The ones that think that because I don't know, you have a certain level of education, they now have to have a political debate as well, and then they
Oh,
just
yeah.
start saying things where you're just like, bruh,
Mm.
it doesn't work like it doesn't work.
Actually, I'll tell you a very good pickup technique that
Oh, here we.
that you've
This-
witnessed.
only here on this podcast, guys.
You've witnessed this firsthand. Remember we did this. Let's omit names and everything again, because we did a project for a client,
Yeah.
and after the whole production, there's drinks, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And then we go and we went to the bar with a bunch of these people, and there was one attractive, tall girl actually. Then
Yeah.
everyone on the table was all these nerds and buckets, as you would call them.
Oh, yeah. The
And they're all
buckets.
like, they're all these like
shit,
right out
yeah.
of college people, and we're like production team, so we're with
cool.
them. We got to know them and everything. So we're like, we're not the out of college people, and they are all trying to solve the world issues together. And like,
Oh, yeah, I
yeah,
remember
you know,
this.
those people that they,
Was she
they
that
get
tall?
together. They just got there. Yeah, and she's in a no, maybe if I give information. Whatever, she's in the military, right? She's a military.
Oh,
person,
she wasn't that tall. She wasn't that tall.
yeah.
But I
Well,
remember.
yeah. For I remember she was like my height. So to me, that's like when you're my height. You're
I got
considered
it.
tall already.
Yeah,
So-
I know. I have it in
Yeah.
front of me. I
Yeah.
know. I remember.
So you can tell that she's like, and especially also, by the way, there was kind of a little bit of sexism there because the guys, it feels like they were sort of overlooking, or they weren't even interested in the girl's opinion. They were just arguing amongst each other. And in those situations, I like to, especially when you're in that sort of academic situation and there's an academic girl you like, let these guys argue about the nonsense because you're not going to solve these issues. Let's be real. You're talking about, oh, I would do this and I would do that. And if I was in government, I would do this. And yeah, with no other information at hand, no government documents at hand, you know what decision
Yeah,
to make,
you
right?
know what
But
you
they
want.
all like still, they like to play this game and like to argue, man.
Yeah.
Take her and start talking about, like, for example, she had a phone out. I'm like, so what is it, Tinder? And then they're like, no, it's not. Like, and then we end up talking about Tinder, and that's how you sort of sway the conversation into the dating way. At some point during the conversation, while these people were arguing about the world economics and how to fix the situation in Sudan, we're talking about threesomes.
Yeah, that's true. I
And
remember
that's how
that.
like it got personal. You got the number and everything. It's like just sway the conversation to the other extreme of whatever is going on at the table. And fantastic. And the guy who was interested in her was like, chances over he realized it at that point. And like, because he wanted to, he was like going back like, so what do you think? Like, what do you think about the president now? What do you think about the prime minister now? She's like, wait, I'm way past that conversation. I'm actually interested. I'm having fun here.
But it's also just, it's like, ugh, I don't want to talk about that
Yeah, it's
in that context. It's just like, fam,
bro.
make a dick joke.
We've drank it. That's when you. Oh, actually, yeah, that's definitely when you realize that everybody has that switch off button in them, and as much as they try to put out a certain face or act or dress for the job that you want, you know what I mean? Like there's that persona that just had this whole thing behind them. It was a political. I can't give information about the client.
No, you
But
can't.
it was very academic. And once that's all behind them, they're like, man, I'm ready to kick back. And you realize everyone has just their interests outside of that. You know, you're not defined by your job or your, whatever direction of work you're going to. It's, we all want to make dick jokes and talk about comedy or movies or pop culture, or music, whatever, sports. Which is actually what this podcast is mostly about.
Brilliant.
Anyway, what do we got? More
In the world of sports?
More on this doc. Oh,
Which doc?
our docket.
Oh. Yeah, man. So, Sexy Beast is what I had.
Yeah.
That's coming. Tyler, the Creator, is releasing a new album. Let me see. This was released. It's follow up to Igor. That's the album that won Best Rap Album. No, I think he released it now. Let me see. I have two singles.
Talk about if we haven't listened to it.
Huh?
Then again, you said Doja Cat though. It's also relevant.
June 25th. Yeah, I think he released it now. I think it's out.
Did you listen to the Doja Cat album?
Mm-hmm.
That you brought up?
I did listen to the Doja Cat album. It's amazing.
So that we can talk about.
Planet.
But I haven't.
Planet Her.
Planet Her. Her is an artist too, though.
Who also released an album.
Yeah.
They're all releasing now. All
Yeah.
the big artists are coming out releasing albums now because it's time. It's open.
Her is interesting.
It's time to go outside. She's very good. I haven't sat with the album yet, but I know her music and it's very good.
Also, man, I can't. You know what I don't like because I heard about that new album, hers album, on Rory and Mal episode 2. So
okay.
What I don't like about talking about these topics is how many of these ideas are mine and how many are theirs that are still in my mind. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it difficult.
Yeah.
So now I can't talk about her. But
Doja Cat released.
Doja Cat though, they didn't talk about that. We can
It's
talk about Doja
called
Cat.
Planet Her. Yeah, man, it's an amazing album. I think it's a dope album. What is there to say? I wonder how people are gonna receive it in the sense that she plays this very, very crafty balance between being a hip hop artist but still being pop as well. So she knows how to make like these really like pop songs that go viral on TikTok, that type of thing.
And being the out of the box
raps. She raps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a rapper.
I remember the first time, but that was less surprising when Rihanna rapped on Lemon, and that was like an eye opener. It's like she should do this more. Yeah, she should do a whole album like this.
Yeah, but you see that, and that's the interesting. Doja Cat is a rapper, though. Like she's always been rapping.
I always thought she was, but then I listened to the music and she isn't.
Well, okay, so that's it. So
more like because of a choice, though. She chooses to make that music.
Well, this is the debate I have with a friend of mine as well. We said, "Oh, she's not really a rapper." I was like, "Well, by your definition, then no rapper today is a rapper because they all sing."
Yeah.
Drake sings half of the time as well.
I mean, T-Pain made that. I'm not going into that conversation, but like what I'm saying, he made it so that because autotune being introduced into his kind of music and his rap made rap more melodic or people more open to the concept of sing rapping, right? More made it very mainstream, and a lot of these rappers that sing, they can't sing, and they mask it with autotune, or some people use autotune as an effect for it. But that is sort of popularized sing rapping. So if you can actually sing rap, it's a very special.
She can actually sing
thing that.
But you know that, right?
Yeah.
But she can also actually rap, like properly.
Let's play one.
Like it's not a gimmick.
Is there one you liked particularly? We can
sure
put a clip on. Probably get claimed by Warner Brothers as usual. But
how do you want to play? You have the aux?
But
it's also
is there a way to figure out how many
incredibly-
followers she had though before she started really releasing music? Because she had a following. Well, she was doing music, but not.
for a while. She's been doing music for a minute, but it wasn't like
Yeah, but she was on these because there was this whole. I know there was a controversy. She what things she said on the stream, but I think she was a streamer, right? She did stream before, and people knew her in these chat rooms as it's like these reality. What do they call them? IRL streamers, in real life streamers. They just talk, you know. That's something you wanted to do as well. I think
but
you're
I
open.
think, yeah,
to,
but I think she'd be making music already still. Even then.
but you don't have your tits out doing it. I assume.
Yeah,
she
so
was
it
doing
doesn't,
that.
it doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, no, Doja Cat definitely. Yeah, you know the drop's gonna be good already. I don't know why it's.
You said I just got it buck, get into it, yo. Pop out with a truck, get into it, yo. If you go to church, I said get into it, yo. I just she ain't got a butt, now forget get into it, yo. And I said I just got a buck, get into it, yo. Pop out with a truck, get into it, yo. If you go to church, get into it, yo. If she ain't got a butt, forget get into it, yo. Yeah, you just wanna party, you just wanna lap dance, you just wanna pop up on these kinds of.
Man, the commentary again. Yeah, no. Just saying. It's very, especially with the first one. Let me just pull out the so I know the names. So Get Into It is. It's very particular. Like she has her own her own style of rapping, her own style of sing rapping as well. The cadence, right? And it's the thing that like Nicki has her own brand of it. And
But there are a lot of similarities though
yeah,
between her and Nicki Minaj
yeah.
musically.
It's more the almost borderline yelling, but not like on pitch
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, that. And it's something I was wondering if you think she makes music that men also would listen to, because there's a lot of things. It's tough for I feel female rappers, sometimes depending on like what they rap about, but to capture the male audience as much.
That's funny. We were recently talking about that when we were watching the music video for Megan Thee Stallion's
Oh yeah.
new song, Thought Shit.
Mm.
We were watching that, and we were like, again, she can rap, the beat is good, it's a good music video, but it's just like this is rough for me to put in my soul, like for me to import, for me to
Yeah.
I can't work.
And
with
also,
this.
it's not for
Right?
all women either. It's
That's
it's
also
a particular type of woman.
subtle.
It's
It's a particular
I don't mean
type.
this in any like negative way either.
No, but I think Doja Cat does a better job of that. Yeah, I think her music is actually quite easy to listen to as a man. It's not hard at all.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
half of it is very pop,
So I mean,
mainstream, but the themes are also just very general, like, oh, I like someone. Just things like that, not like it's not all the way wild with the
there's
shaking ass.
I mean, they used to be
a lot of lyrics about sucking dick.
as much as
I wonder what the numbers would be if you were to try and count the amount of lines about sucking dick that you can hear in mainstream female rap songs. I wonder how many you would get. I think you would get a lot.
yeah, but that's like an Amy Schumer set.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the whole special is about that, or about I'm a slut. Yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. This is
All right.
this is like, that's fine,
All right.
but yeah, I mean,
Jeez.
not that it's wrong or anything, but like, no. So what I was saying is like the hip hop crowd, and it's less so now than it used to be, but it used to be, it had a hardness to it, where like as a man you had to listen to harder shit, and even like the touchy-feely stuff more that Drake sort of started coming up with was a bit harder to swallow in the beginning. And now I think when hip-hop has transcended that and turned into a very mainstream art form that is very inclusive of any kind of person, no matter what your background is. And I mean like background also in the sense of like, were you privileged? Did you grow up in the countryside? Did you grow up in the main city, in the hood, whatever? It's opened up hip-hop to a wider audience. And I think the same is happening now, shifting towards the women, where like Nicki always had that where like also men can listen to not all her music, but like a lot of it was like transcended gender. And I mean, of course, in the past there was people like even MC Light was definitely, but this is more like going off the back of featuring with other men in the industry. And now it's like even this more female touch kind of rap where even the beat and everything is more feminine. You know what I mean? It has this more feminine feel. Still makes music for that men can enjoy, and also not feel like it's a guilty pleasure. You know.
Yeah,
Even though like if people who don't know Doja Cat, maybe I would tell them, "Oh, I like this Doja Cat album." Like, what? Really? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, it's like no.
She makes very good music.
Yeah. It's like
She makes very good music.
just
It's not
because,
even-
but probably just because aesthetically they just see this woman who just dresses in a lot of pink and you know. Yeah,
but that's what's so dope is that she does that, but she makes very good music and she can really rap.
yeah.
And she can properly rap. I think people don't say that enough. They don't understand.
No. So it's good.
But it's kind of like it's a way. It's also good branding because it allows her to very easily move between that, you know, in that pop realm, in that pop space. That's how you get because this album has The Weeknd and Ariana Grande on it. That's a big. I don't know what the budget was, but
Dude.
it was no joke to get the two of them on one album.
Yeah.
Is
Oh man, everybody wants to collab with her too.
It's a different
it's
guy. Yeah,
not just
yeah.
on music. Just whatever. Like I think she's very aware of being in touch with also the internet crowd.
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, the
And
Silhouette
not just
Challenge.
this-
That's her.
Yeah. And she used to be a
Treats.
streamer, as we said, and she I think she would collab with YouTubers and different bigger YouTube channels, and pretty sure like TikTok is gonna be a big thing, and I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if maybe she has performed actually, because like there's the YouTuber boxing events and stuff like that. They always have these shows in between. I think there was one recently. There was Lil Baby actually. He performed on an all YouTuber TikTok boxing event. And I don't know who else was on there. But I wonder if like she would definitely be someone who like gets booked for that. Oh, maybe she was. Maybe she was
She
on the
might
Jake
have
Ben
been.
Askren thing.
She might have actually been.
But I don't know because that show was just terrible. That whole fucking production is fucked.
But
Triller is
she
bankrupt.
might
I
have
think they're
been.
going bankrupt too.
I know they got there was one where they got a Saweetie for it.
Oh, that was the one. Yeah, that was the
that's-
one.
And
Yeah,
she
yeah,
has
yeah,
a song
yeah,
with
yeah.
Saweetie. That's
Yeah.
also a very good song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Sweetie's not bad. But that's is she someone who would? I don't know. I'd have to analyze it. If she would be like fall in that category if men would listen to her music, but I think they would.
I've heard they
I
would.
just feel like though, for some reason, like where does the thing come from? Narrative. Nobody can take her seriously though.
Who?
That's Sweetie in the rap.
The narrative that no one can take her seriously.
Yeah, I've heard that
People
as well.
take her
That rappers
seriously.
don't take her seriously as an artist.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, the public will
yeah.
always take.
yeah. It's always, you know, it's
They think
difficult.
she piggybacked off a relationship. Like, is that what it is?
That she's also, I mean, okay, so here's the thing with women, right, as music artists in general, as any kind of artist, as anything actually, is that their looks always come into play, even if they'd like it or not.
Yeah.
Right?
I have the same with athletes. So,
And
yeah.
either direction, it works against you in some way. So if you're not super attractive, according to whatever that means, then that works against you. But if you are super attractive, then it's like, oh, well, she's just attractive. That's
So
it.
we'll accept
You
it
see what I'm
because it
saying?
brings views. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not listening to her music, though. So whenever
yeah,
people talk
yeah.
about Saweetie, they're mostly talking about how
Yeah.
she looks rather than the music that she makes.
Yeah, because I mean that's the
They're
impression I
talking
have
about
too.
how she looks in her videos
Yeah.
as opposed to the music she makes. And that's what the difficulty is there.
But then the transition is interesting because like Doja Cat had the same thing.
Similar. Yep.
It started with the looks, but now she actually makes like this. Turns out she makes good music.
But it's also because she also did more of the pop thing. I think it's easier. I think if you're
Yeah,
just
it's easier,
rapping,
yeah.
then it's tricky to break that mold unless you like, you really rap like hard
Yeah.
to get that. Is that me? To get
Yeah.
that acknowledgement.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you, and you know, it's funny. It's I was saying athletes as well as sports. You know who's like really? You heard about this? You probably heard about this. I told you we talked about it the first time in person. Around when Paulie Malignaggi, the boxer, went to Bare Knuckle. The Bare Knuckle event was like
Yeah.
one of the first Bare Knuckle events, and there's like it's because it's an old sport. Like there's a reason why this sport has transcended and become We had the gloves and there's those rules and everything, and now they want to go back to. And like I have no problem with it. Like there's a big audience there now, but the whole marketing scheme now I'm noticing is, we're gonna just put high up on the card all these very hot women that are known from other organizations.
Hold on. There's women. Bare Knuckle Boxing is what you're telling me here today on this podcast.
You probably know Paige Van Zandt from UFC.
Let me just take a look.
Because she's like very famous. She has her own OnlyFans and stuff. It's not OnlyFans anymore. She has her own. She's one of those people that have like.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah, her.
Yeah. So she's done already. She lost the fight against Britain Hart in Bare Knuckle, but so she. The upcoming event, I think the main event's her and Rachel Ostovich, who they were both released.
Oh, this is it right here.
Yeah.
BKFC debut.
But
injuries.
So there's several of these very good-looking women that have garnered a huge fan base on Instagram or any other platform based on their looks as well. Not to say like they can't fight, because she can definitely fight. That's not here. So the Rachel Ostovich is another one that's very famous. She has her OnlyFans and everything. But they both got released by UFC because they were at their losing streak and they wanted to go free agency. So what Bare Knuckle is doing is bringing them in to bring a larger audience to that sport. They're doing whatever they can to bring a larger audience to that sport. To the point, like even like Paige is owning it. She even posted this promo. Listen to this promo. She said, like, whenever she posts a picture of her against Rachel Ostovich, she says, "Come for the boobies, stay for the fights," something like that. But it's like it's a big like marketing thing, and of course, like it works less if you don't know how to fight. But they know how to fight. They know the fight. They've been in large MMA organizations, and them two actually specifically have been in the UFC for a while. This got released, so it's a proven strategy that works. If you own it, it makes it even better.
I find the concept of women bare knuckle boxing very hard to process. I have to be honest with you. It's just so vicious.
I guess I got used to it because I watched her first fight.
No, but the UFC I understand, but just the
in the bare
even
knuckle.
When men do it, I'm just
she
like
did the bare knuckle fight already. Like one.
Yeah, but even when men do the bare knuckle fight, boxing, I'm just like this is vicious, a lot.
Yeah, I had.
So you just punch someone like this.
Yeah, they just have the hand wrap that protects.
Oh, there's a hand wrap still.
No, but the wrap doesn't protect you. The wrap just protects your wrist, is what it is. It's only done to protect your own hand. It's I don't know what to think yet. Like it's exciting, but it's too much. It's.
Why? Can you explain?
First of all, like
can you explain real short, quickly? Because I know it's probably a longer conversation. Can you explain why this is allowed? Why is this legal?
It's not even legal everywhere. It's like Florida, the states you would expect it to be legal in. But they've slowly been creating the rules and actually turning it into a legitimate sport is what it is. And that's how it starts with everything. Like, it was even the MMA back in the day.
Professional bare knuckle boxing was never legal under any federal or state laws in the United States until Wyoming became the first to legalize it on March 20th, 2018. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Sick.
So they've been...
I
had Stitch Duran on my show. I had him as a guest. This is the legendary cut man. Right?
What's his stance?
He is because
his numbers must be up. He has a lot of demand now.
Oh yeah,
the way they're getting
because he was released from UFC back in the. So he's legendary in boxing. He's Tyson Fury's cornerman as well, the cut man. He's the world heavyweight champion in boxing. But he also used to be the resident.
Christ,
he used to be the resident.
Jesus.
There was an event yesterday actually. I didn't see it.
This is a madness.
But yeah.
This is madness.
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ! Look at the nigga, dude.
And they all look like they chop wood in their free time. This is a lumberjack versus a truck driver lumberjack.
But okay, it seems also like the rules are different in terms of how to. Because I see them making moves. I'm like, I don't think you can do. Jesus Christ.
Well, so it's like a mix between. So there's no.
Oh, this dude is asleep.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what I don't like about it as
Boom.
well is that
boom. This dude is out.
Send me the link so that I can add the clip.
This dude is asleep,
bro.
Jesus Christ. Nah, they got it. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for this.
Nah, I ain't doing that shit.
I'm not doing this. This is insane.
Even an MMA fight.
I feel so bad for this. This dude is just being cooked.
Yeah,
Look at him.
And the ref was like, hey,
He just doesn't want to do, but he doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to go home.
This guy is cocky as fuck. I like this. Look at him. He's like, chin out. Hey, come on. Beat me up. Oh, and he got, okay. I like this. Look in the beginning how he was like baiting the guy and hey, come on, smack me. And his chin out and then counter punch. He definitely looks like he belongs in the bare knuckle ring though.
Oh, you got him. Got him. Got one in.
I think we got a fan here.
No, he's gonna kill this dude. Watch. He's gonna smoke. He's gonna cook this dude. This is actually pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, man.
But this is insanity.
What I was saying about so Stitch Duran is now hired by them,
Jesus
and he says
Christ.
so in boxing he would treat like 1 maybe 2 cuts a fight for their fighter. In MMA it's a little bit more. He said sometimes like 4, something like that. He says bare knuckle, man. Some guy came to him. He had 10 cuts, and he said like, "What the hell? Do you have like 10 cuts?" He's like, "No, I got 12." What the fuck? After one event, what I don't like about it though, it's like the effect it has on your hands though. There's no longevity, like in the sense that when you see the
Jesus,
after the post fight
look
press
what
conference.
you see what he did to this dude?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, you got some women here.
Hold on. This one. Watch this. This dude he's gone. Look at his face. But no, you see his face in a minute. Look at this.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But that's the main
Oh,
reason.
women
So,
are doing. Oh, this is madness. I'm not supporting this.
No.
I'm sorry. I can't. This is madness.
I have an upcoming guest.
Well, now I'm sexist because the women should be able to do it too. But look at this. Oh.
I'm in talks with a guest with a female bare knuckle fighter.
See, the referee
From the
also. This is enough. Like you should. You already see how this is going.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, he's out.
He's done. Like he's still punching him.
Dude, so after the post-fight press conferences, you always have this picture. Like they usually put all the winners of the night next
They're
to each
beefing.
other. And
They're beefing or something.
yeah, am I not allowed to make my point? God damn it.
Sorry.
The whole time I'm trying. I don't know how to edit this into the show.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, but you have the picture of all the winners usually together after the fight. And
Yeah.
like half of them have a cast on. Like they broke their hands.
Oh,
after every
yeah.
event. So you do
told
an
me the
event.
hands.
You need a 6-month break till your next fight, including fight camp and everything. Maybe longer. What's the longevity? There's definitely no longevity in it, is what it is. But it's more of a sport, I think, where either you really need a paycheck and you know how to throw hands, or it's for people whose MMA career, for example, or boxing career got cut early, or they feel like they can make more money here, to just do it for 1 or 2, maybe 3 fights before they retire. You know what I mean?
How are they?
To be able to
Like
do
how's
this,
the pay?
apparently, so for the big names, it's very big. It's more than for Paige Van Zandt. She was making, she claims, almost 10 times what she made in UFC for her fight there. But that's because they brought her in as she is the face and the star now. And whereas in UFC, she was just one of many fighters. You know?
Jesus Christ! Look at this dude's face.
Yeah. Apparently, though, because it's a young sport, but what they do better than the UFC, though, in terms of caring for their fighters, is even the fighters that don't get paid as much as UFC, they're the first professional fighting organization that is setting up health benefits for their fighters.
I would hope so.
No, but can you imagine that, like in MMA, in any organization, UFC, Bellator, anything, they don't have that. So if you leave the organization, you're done with your career, even if you have repercussions years later because of that, they don't care. They're just like, yeah, you figure it out yourself. You don't have money anymore? It's not our problem. Whereas here, they're like, if you do end up, like, they'll at least, give you health care for the rest of your life.
Yeah, but I would also, I see what you're saying, but I would also hope so in the sense that.
I mean, the UFC is doing a lot towards research. Like, they're investing a lot in all this research, and they're trying to work on microdosing with with shrooms and everything, like the psilocybin. You've heard of that.
Yeah,
so
microdosing.
That can, like,
in general.
Yeah, it can fix your brain, or it can at least prevent dementia and also the CTE.
There's a lot of research into that about
So they're front runners in like leading those researches and trying to figure out that stuff.
Here's my stance with those things, right? So help me with this. Here's my stance with those, because the NFL is also doing stuff like that, right? With like the concussion stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool, but at a certain point, when do we just stop being silly as people and just accept that if you're gonna knock your head into something repeatedly, it's gonna damage your brain. There's not really much you can
Personal
do about
risk.
Like you should say, like all we have to do is to research to make it safe. Dude, the sport contains the premise of the sport is that this person's head gets knocked in.
Yeah,
by
but
a
there's
fist.
also this assumption because
There's nothing.
These are all young careers. Like you rarely find athletes that reach 40. You know,
Yeah.
By then you have to figure out your life. A lot of people, especially like fighters, they don't have enough money like that's changed their life. So they have to deal with those repercussions maybe in the future, and maybe they could prevent them from getting certain jobs and stuff, especially if you start getting CTE or something like that. So you would expect an organization that you've meant so much for to sort of give you healthcare and benefits, and at least
The
support
healthcare
you,
thing I
support
understand.
your
I mean
life
more
to at least get by, you know.
The healthcare I understand. It's just more so again, like the NFL also do the research, and then they were actually talking about, you have to add extra padding or do this to make it safe. I'm like, fam, the concept is that they knock themselves into each other. At the end of the day, how much safer do you want to make? There's not much you can do.
No.
Or let's just cancel the sport. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. I just like.
Oh yeah, and then you watch the movie Concussion, right?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, see, they say they cancel the sport, and then they're like, no, it's as much as a part of America as like, I don't know, the White House, whatever. Like,
But that's all you could do. You either just have to cancel that sport, or we're just gonna have to deal with that because the concept is that
It's kind of
the same thing with boxing.
Kind of fascinating
the concept
that like
you're gonna get punched.
That American football, the NFL, is that big of a part of American economy.
It's
you know?
huge. It's huge.
It's
huge.
insane. Like
It's
that's what they were
incredibly
saying in the
huge.
thing. Like the arguments, if we cancel it, or at least professionally cancel it, the whole GDP of the country is going to go down. Essentially, that's what it is. So I mean, it's not the case here, but
There's
fucking
an
Dana White,
insane-
man,
There's an insane amount of money in
pay
it.
your fighters.
There's an insane amount of money in it, and those football players, man, the money they make is different. It's a different kind of money.
Yeah, but they see that's the difference, though. Yeah. So fighters don't. Well, then again, the level of the impact and of American football on your brain is 10 times worse than fighting. So that's what. But then again, that's the argument they would say, like, well, but football players do get paid. Like, football money does set you up for the rest of your life and your future generations as well. Whereas fighting, unless you're Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather, is not. I mean, Anthony Joshua, like the biggest names, then you're not set up for life, unfortunately. And that's why, a lot of fighters end up, creating a brand, creating building themselves as a brand. And I just had Janae Harding on, who was a really good expert in that, because she's pretty young in her career. Alternates wins and losses. Like, it's not the best fighting record, but she does have the best fan base, I would say, because I've personally now interacted with some. A lot of them follow us now. The amount of love they have for someone that is that authentic and puts just themselves out there regardless of their, like, not just focusing their whole page on fighting, having it primarily be fighting, but also highlighting all your other interests and skills outside of that, to draw in an audience from those other industries as well. Like, for example, the fighters that, I mean, you can say OnlyFans is one, but, like, of course, OnlyFans isn't for everyone. Like, you can understand, there's enough women that are also super attractive that don't want to do that as an income. You're into gaming, for example. A lot of fighters are now making the side income on Twitch. And aside from side income directly from Twitch, driving that traffic from Twitch, people that are maybe into video games and they like your personality, to actually be engaged with you as a person, and that brings them to watch your fights. They're like, oh, I want to support my boy. I don't know anything about the sport, but I do have to support my boy. I want to tune in. I'm curious. That could actually be, for me, more interesting towards of an idea of getting eyeballs to the sport than these whole social media influencers and YouTubers fighting actual fighters. Because when social media influencers and the Logan Pauls and Jake Pauls fight and their fans are going to watch the sport, I don't think they're going to be that interested in watching the sport for the sport and watching the best do it. They just are tuning in because their guy is tuning in. It's like because he's doing this one-off fight and there's nothing. But whereas, like, if you're not into the sport and you're following this person from Twitch who plays the games you like, you're invested in their career and they're actually going towards a title, or they're actually invested in, this is my career. So you are more inclined to stick around because you want to see how they do in their division. You know what I mean? Instead of, this is just a one-off, and if he's not fighting, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Like,
I see that.
let's say your fight, like Janae, my guest. She was and by the way, shout out to Janae's fans. Like, the interactivity, the engagement we got is more than some people that have way over 100,000 followers, and she has like 35 or something. And not that it really doesn't matter what the following is. I just noticed the engagement and the love they have, and they're above all the respect, being respectful as well. To the point that they like this person. Like there was one question, it was like, "Oh, is she single? I want to know that," and like stuff like that. But
you're gonna get those. You can't get those.
But it was mostly all of it was super respectful, and also she's not the kind of person that sexualizes herself on social media. That's another interesting thing. There's like just a very dope, down to earth person, and it would feel like my kind of people, and it resonates with the fans. Like they're like, it's like watching your friend compete. Like that's how it is. And now I'm really rooting for her all of a sudden. And like she's ranked now number 10, I think, in her division, Bellator. I'm pretty sure like a lot of people that follow her now that weren't really into fighting necessarily, but found her through whatever other thing, or just resonate with her personality, or would also be interested in the rest of the division to see like, oh, let's see who her next opponent's going to be. Let's see how it plays out at the top and what her chances are of going to the title, right? So that's an effective way of getting people to stick around. So, and it's the same goes for artists. Same goes for musicians. Maybe people that aren't into hip hop that much follow a hip hop artist for their cooking or whatever, whatever it is, or other skills they have. Use all your skills and highlight those. Your page doesn't necessarily just have to be that one thing, that profession of yours that you do.
I think it's I think you can do that, but I think it's maybe a little trickier actually as a music artist, because people still have to like you. Like I think fighting is a little bit more objective.
Yeah,
a little bit more objective. Like music is more taste based. Like fighting, I mean, the dude knocked the dude out. I mean, it's not really. So it's not my taste. It's like, well, he knocked the dude out. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
There's styles. I get if you're more knowledgeable, then you can go into the styles. And you can do. I get that, but overall, for the average person, you see what I'm saying? It's like, but with
yeah, but I'm saying a castaway, you can cast a wide net, and
you
be
should
consistent in the sense of engaging with and interacting with everyone, because everyone wants attention, Even if you're not out there for attention, you get attention, you like it. It like releases that's endorphin in your brain, that what do you call the dopamine effect of this famous person just interacted with me, or this person that I really enjoy their work just interacted with me. This is cool. Make it very personable and authentic, and as much as like social media is and always will be for many people, even if people aren't trying to do that as much as possible, is a highlight reel. You can get people from all walks of life, from other interests, into what you're doing through that. Like I don't know what would I do. Like, let's say I wanted to like, I can get into the food community. Like if I start doing like cooking streams or whatever, and start growing that follower base up, then I have all these people that are into cooking and food and chefs and stuff into that, and then like, oh, by the way, they'll like my personality and all that. Now, here's some clips on my podcast where we talk about, let's say, like music and fighting and it could get them into that. Like they'll just be supportive of whatever that is that you do, and So I think the sports organizations should allow or maybe encourage their athletes to do other things on the side in terms of social media and exposure.
I was gonna say, because they do allow them, right? But maybe more.
I see you like Paige.
Listen, man. I'm just trying to, I'm just exploring.
Yeah, no. So yeah. So you're gonna watch her next fight?
She's still fighting?
No, I'm saying like she's fighting Bare Knuckle. She's gonna fight Rachel Ostovich.
She's still doing the that's
coming up.
Bare Knuckle?
I think next week or maybe in 2 weeks. Yeah, but that's where her whole promo was like, come for the boobies, stay for the fighting. Like she's embracing that whole thing. Like
July 23rd. You're right.
July 23rd. So that's like 3 weeks. Not 2 weeks. No, wait. 23rd, end of next month.
23rd, it's the end of next month. It's in about a month.
Yeah.
It's 27th today.
So
that is.
And yesterday there was a Pearl Gonzalez fought, who is also a former MMA fighter who is very attractive and has OnlyFans and pushing it hard for a long time. She was early on the boat, and she got a lot of attention to the Bare Knuckle event yesterday.
Why did they? Okay.
Dude, they offer them a lot of money because they bring a lot of eyeballs to the sport.
No, I mean, what did they do on OnlyFans? That was my question.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know. Subscribe to. No, but I think so. Pearl. I don't know, man. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I know Paige is not on. I don't think she's on.
She has her own, right?
Thing,
She said she has
I don't
her
think
own.
they do that, but they don't do. I think Pearl does nudity though, but she, Paige doesn't do full nude. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, they got a lot of subscribers, so it's not like
There's something going on.
there's something gets a lot of attention.
There's demand for it.
Like, look at this. I mean, look. This is an example. I'm not pulling up OnlyFans.
Oh, this one too. Wait, this one I know.
What is it? Yeah, I wanted to show you a page. So for someone, okay, so her fight record, right? I'll pull it up.
She started losing.
And by the way, like, not to say, and I'm not even joking right now. Her personality is off the chain, like, in terms of, like, she's just, especially just embracing that whole understanding that, like, most of her fan base is there for her looks, and just a dope person, hilarious, you know, very playful.
Yeah, plays into it.
Yeah. So she has her martial MMA record is 8 wins and 5 losses, right? So it's not a great record. And her following on Instagram, look, 2.9 million, almost 3 million. For a fighter that's 8-5, it's very fucking impressive.
Yeah,
like, she probably has one of the biggest followings in all of MMA and fighting.
Yeah, but people don't care about the fight. They want to care about how she looks. What you said that Instagram one?
It just Paige Van
I'm
Zandt.
gonna find it.
I want to show you something interesting. Look, on that note, my story viewers the other day. Epa. It's good.
That is good.
We got that. She knows we exist. She knows we exist.
That's the interview that
Oh,
needs
and
to
another
happen.
thing.
That's the interview we need to get.
Yeah, no way.
No?
I was trying to get, actually,
Why?
I was like,
Why
asking
not?
'cause I
Sky
want
is the
her-
limit.
No, so her husband also fights in Bellator. Also fucking hilarious. Like, he plays into the whole, he calls himself Mr. Van Zandt, you know, like that whole thing. Someone suggested when I was asking for guests, like, get the both on. There's a couple interview like that. I want to do, like, I feel like that's maybe more doable because it's more out of the box, more interesting.
That would actually be a very good idea.
Yeah. By the way, who predicted this except for me? This is my correct prediction.
Oh, really?
Germany, Hungary. Got 90 points of that. I'm still sucking on that competition, though, to be fair. But yeah. Man, why is... Okay, that's why we don't gotta check our phones, man. I get these messages during the show, and... You know, guys... You don't have to hit me up at all times and ask for a call. You can just either call, and if I pick up... I'm there.
Pick up if I
you
don't.
know. But if you, like... You text me, hey, if you've texted me, I haven't replied yet. By the way, today, same day. It's not like you texted yesterday. I didn't reply. And then you're like, hey, so let's have a call. Right after that, it's like you just... I don't know what you're trying to bait. You're going to bait me into, like, opening and seeing that I read the message or something? Or
I turned that off. Read receipts. I don't have it on.
Oh, yeah, I don't either. Yeah. Yeah, I did that for this deal I'm working on. Because there's some people you get involved with business-wise and you do not want them to be involved in your personal life or know who you are, where you live, or anything. So for that, I'm like, turn it all off. I think I even blocked one on social media, I must admit. So, like, if I don't reply here and I don't want to do having anything to do with you after this, I don't want you to find me on social media and
Start a whole thing.
And then having a podcast doesn't help with that. I'm just very much out there, especially in the beginning phases. You're trying to really promote yourself. Yeah. What else do we have? Well, anything else? We don't have time. That's the problem. Because we would like to talk about that.
I think we touched on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the Trump thing we wanted to leave behind because
Yeah.
there's a lot of, like, polarizing things there always.
Yeah, he doing his thing. He doing his thing like he does. That's
Yeah.
it. He did a rally for the first time again. That's it.
Rally.
Google it yourselves. Look up yourselves.
Yeah.
And form your own opinions.
Exactly. Well, man, so thanks so much for listening. That was another great episode. And, follow us on our platforms. Air Media Productions on most platforms. I think that's all platforms. Yeah, I mean, Air Media Productions on Facebook. Air Media Productions on Instagram. And those are the most important ones. Air Media Productions. YouTube. Air Media Productions in the booth. Spotify. Yeah. I'm not good at this, but, this for promo thing. It's just, you'll find it all. Actually, though, you know what's interesting? And I added this. This is very good for the promos. Just go on our Instagram, and go on our link tree. There's a link in the bio. You go on there. All the links are there. You should try that.
We have a link tree?
Yeah. You got the link tree. Oh, and I made it look nice, too. Yeah. Check this out. Go bio, link tree. And there was a problem loading because I'm on airplane mode, of course. It's not smooth at all. Refresh. Yeah. Anyway, till next time.